Hello, I am Bree DeLong, and this channel is about doing internal, real work on yourself, your patterns, and your life. And you've probably been doing it your way. Working hard, working harder, pushing, 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 trying harder, holding on so tight, and having to control everything. So much just forcing it through, figuring it out, forcing it through. And things still aren't working, or at least not the way that you think they should be working. That way of living is exhausting. It is so exhausting. And it's really scary to be in control of everything, to have to be in control of everything, and still feeling lost, still feeling insecure, like you really don't know what you're doing. So you're just going to have to try harder. Last week, on last week's video, I showed you what led to my rock bottom and what it looked like for me. So today's video is on what happened next and what happened when I let go a little bit. Not let go of the reins altogether, not sit back and, sit on the couch and eat bonbons for a month, but just let go of the need to control a little bit. So what I used to call it Brita's Way. So what did Brita's Way look like before? Completely needing to be in control of everything, including like other people and what they were doing, if I'm being honest, okay? Needing to figure it out. Read all the books, take the courses, do the coaching, figure it out. Pushing. And that's the only way I can describe it, is just this energy of pushing. Never enough, never working hard enough, never getting things done fast enough, just pushing. Rushing, forcing, being impatient, being very reactive. And I thought that it was my superpower. I remember my poor dad. He would get frustrated with me and he would slow the F down. And he didn't say F, let me tell you. Slow down. And I didn't get it at the time. I didn't get it. And I thought, well, he just doesn't understand. He's not as ambitious as I am. He doesn't get what I'm trying to do. He was right. But I saw my go as my superpower. I used to brag even just to myself. I got more done by 10 a.m. than most people got done their entire day, sometimes their entire week. And I would just sit there, and it really was my badge of honor. And I really didn't see, that it wasn't working, because I thought it was working. Like, heaven help me if I stopped. Like, that's the only way that I got here. It's the only way that I've gotten what I've gotten. And I didn't see the cost. I didn't see the damage. The damage to myself and the damage to others, especially my kids. And that is a tough pill to swallow. And even when, I remember one time in the car, I was picking up my youngest at school, and it was, let's go, get your backpack, get your coat, let's go, as normal. And we get in the car, and I don't remember what he wanted to do or what he said, but I remember saying something about, we're in a hurry. We can't do that. We're in a hurry. And even the way that I talked was, we're in a hurry. Let's go. I even spoke quickly. And I will never forget this moment. He was probably 7, 8. He just dropped his little head and he said, we're always in a hurry. That still stings. And he's in his mid-30s. that still stings. And at the time I knew that was bad. Like, I knew it was bad. I was self-aware enough to know this is bad. But I didn't know another way. And so, I switched it in my head. Like, well, this is for his good. This is benefiting him. Like, I'm doing this for him. He doesn't understand it now, but I'm doing it for him. Okay? I really didn't see the damage. So going back to my rock bottom that we talked about last week, when I hit my rock bottom, when I was like, everything that I've worked for, I didn't get. In fact, I am now way backwards. I just moved across the country. I just gave up my practice. I just sold my beautiful home. I just left my entire life to get my laundry list of things. And not only did I not get my laundry list of things, I'm 10,000 times worse off. I really wasn't 10,000 times worse off, but that's how it felt. And I didn't know, how this happened, what I did wrong that was so wrong. And it was very scary. It was very scary to feel like I couldn't trust my own judgment anymore. Then you got nowhere to go. And so when I hit my rock bottom and just kind of put my hands up and went, okay, doing it Brita's way isn't working anymore. I'm in my late 40s. We got to look to an alternative way of being here, an alternative way of doing things. If I'm ever going to get the life that I want, if I'm ever going to reach the goals that I want to reach and have the feelings that I want to have, we got to let go of Brita way. And even though at the time I still was very reactive, I was still very impatient, I still wasn't diagnosed with ADHD, I had very little self-reflection skills and no coping skills, no tools. I could hear a little voice that said, shed, strip down to the essentials. Strip down to the essentials. Get rid of the stuff in your life. Not only the physical stuff, but anything that's not essential. Also, the little voice was, get rid of your ego. Your ego has to set aside. We need to go on this path regardless of what it looks like. If you're living in a van down by the river, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And right about that time, I had been writing. For whatever reason, I had never really written before. I just had started writing. And I had started writing my first book, which was on navigating your adult parents getting older and dying. And it's still very much only in my head. Well, that will help with my estate planning practice. But I knew enough to know I can't do this by myself, which that was a big deal for me because I had been used to doing everything by myself or thinking that I needed to do everything by myself and being extremely resistant to asking for help. But something told me, ask for help. So I had somehow found Scribe Media. Googled, ghostwriter, help with publishing, whatever. Don't even remember how. But when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I had heard that before, but I never really felt what that meant until I did. So I had a phone call with, somebody from Scribe Media. This guy named Tucker calls me. And quite frankly, that day, I hadn't even remembered that I had the call. This guy gets on the phone and he's smart. And he's calm. He had a calmness about him that I had not felt before with someone. And he wasn't trying to sell me anything. He wasn't boastful. He wasn't trying to sell me it at all. And he had been up, and I asked him, so you've published before? He's like, yes, I've published books before. Okay. So I signed up immediately. This was a lot of money at the time. It was money that I really didn't have. But I was starting to listen to my internal voice, and my internal voice said, go. Okay, I go. I also, right around the same time, I put my house on the market. The house that I had just gotten done, because I knew it was too much. It was too much. I didn't know what my future held, but I knew that this was too much. It was clear my dad wasn't coming out, and this was a lot. And I knew that I couldn't do what I was supposed to do, even though I didn't know what that was, with a big house, land, out in the middle of the country. I knew that. And so I put it on the market. So I went to my first meeting, my first workshop at Scribe Media. And my entire life changed that day. I was put on a new path that day. So I met the guy who I had talked to on the phone. I had no idea who he was. His name's Tucker Max. Some of you might know that name. He wasn't just a published author. He had 4 books at the same time on the New York Times bestseller list. Some of you might know his first book, I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. I had no idea who this guy was. I could care less. What I did know about this guy was that he was wicked smart. Probably still one of the 2 smartest people I've ever come in contact with in my life. I knew that he was impatient, and he had a sharpness to him. But after spending 2 days with him, there was a kindness there and a gentleness there that I had not felt in a very long time from anybody. And what it made my eyes just bulge out was that man saw through me. He saw me in a way that no one had ever seen me. And he wasn't afraid to call shit out in a loving, gentle way. It was like nothing I had ever experienced in my life. And he asked me 2 questions, neither of which had anything to do with the book. Nothing to do with the book at all. He asked me what I was getting out of the chaos in my life. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What chaos? This is just my life. You don't understand. I'm just used to doing 1,000 things in a day. I'm just used to having a bunch of balls in the air. This is how I do life, and this is how it gets me X, Y, and Z. Yeah, he wasn't buying that. And he was in a position to not buy it. He had done some things in life. He had accomplished a lot. Okay, he wasn't the person to try and sell that story to. It took me a couple years to be able to answer that question. The other thing that he asked me was, again, nothing to do with the book. He asked me what I thought would happen if I was kind to myself. And I was still very much in reactive protective mode. And I was like, I am, this is how Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. This is where I was. This is where I was. My response to him was literally, I am kind to myself. I get facials. Yeah, I get facials and then beat the living crap out of myself for getting facials. But, and he's like, do you think you could be kinder to yourself? He's like, I'm not talking about being self-indulgent, because in my head, being kind to yourself is being self-indulgent. Do you think you could be kinder to yourself? And I walked away with that with, okay, well, I will consider that. I will take that under advisement. Maybe. But I started being kinder to myself. I started watching what I said to myself and how I said it. I also knew that guy, Tucker, I had a lot to learn from him. I needed to get as much knowledge from him. I thought it was knowledge. It wasn't knowledge. But I needed to get as much knowledge from him as I possibly could. As much as he was willing to give me. I knew he was important. And again, now that I was kind of starting to listen to myself a little bit, I had the courage to ask him for help. Like, put my ego aside, at the risk of showing him that I needed help and I didn't know what I was doing. I needed to talk to him. So I set up an appointment with him. I asked him if I could meet with him. This was outside of the workshop. And the premise was, help me establish an estate planning practice here in Austin. Like, he knows all of the people. He's wicked smart. He went to law school. He's dealt with attorneys. That was like what I thought I needed help with. And we sat in this conference room. He was generous enough to give me his time. And we sat in this conference room, and I will never forget what he said to me. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing trying to establish this estate planning practice? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you're bored as hell. You're bored as hell practicing law. Oh, shit. Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem. Because he was right. He was right. And I was still very much into, well, I practice law till the day I die, or I work at Starbucks. Those are the two options. He encouraged me just to be open. He also set me on this path to personal development. He gave me a laundry list of his people, the best in the world. His personal development coach. I didn't even know that there was such a thing. Had no idea. His energy worker. And if you would have said energy worker to me at the time, if it hadn't been Tucker that said it, I would have rolled my eyes. But Tucker's no joke. And I trusted him. Okay, I'm writing down. I don't know what energy work is. I don't know what this means, but I'm writing it down. He talked about some medicine with therapy. Okay, I trust this guy. All right. That started all of this. And I was selling the house. I was going to have some equity. And that gave me some runway. I knew I needed some time off. Just to do whatever this meant. I didn't know what this meant, but just some time off. And that little bit of equity in my house would do that. It would take a little bit to get the practice, but I was going to give myself some time. And it was a really good thing that I did, because a month later, my father died. And I really needed that time. What was so beautiful about this time period was I'd had enough time that I was starting to listen to myself, and I was starting to be kinder to myself. And when my father died, I was able to get out there before he died, get out to Billings, Montana, and I was able to be fully present with him in a way that I had never been with anyone else in my life. It wasn't a thought process. It was just, I was showing up differently. And I was able to be fully and 100% connected to him when he was dying, which was one of the greatest gifts I've ever received in my life. And that alone was worth this work. And when he died, I was able to feel the feelings instead of numbing them, instead of pushing them away. I was able to feel them and heal. And the pain was absolutely to the bone, just like it had been with my mom. But I was able to recover far faster. I mean, light years ahead of when my mom died. And I was able to feel my father's presence and that love. It was really a beautiful experience. Painful, but really beautiful. And it would have been a very different experience had I not started this work. And along with feeling the love with my dad, I started to not only be kinder to myself, I started to love myself. I remember, and this was just spontaneous, and it felt really weird at the time. It wasn't like a planned thing. It just came up. I said out loud, "I love you." To me. To me. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? And you would think it would feel a little silly. It didn't. I mean, I was by myself. Nobody heard me. And I started saying that to myself, and it felt so good. It felt so flippin' good. I cannot tell you. And I started being kinder to myself and kinder to myself, not self-indulgent, but kinder to myself. When something would happen, or I would make a mistake, or something wouldn't go the way that I thought it would go, instead of beating the crap out of myself verbally or internally, I was like, it's okay. It's okay. We just adjust. We're okay. Okay, you learned. Adjust. We won't do that next time. It was amazing. It was amazing. And the mistakes happened less and less. Things actually got better. And it just felt so good. It just felt so amazing. So you might still be in the trying to control, trying harder, just pushing, just that push energy. It's just that feeling inside that I gotta go, I gotta do one more thing to do, one more thing done today. One more thing done. I just gotta go. It's that energy. You might think that that's what has gotten you where you are. And I'm not saying you're wrong in some cases. Let me tell you, I wouldn't have gotten through undergrad with as being a single parent, waiting tables to pay the bills. I wouldn't have gotten through that without some of that push energy. But when we don't control it and we aren't monitoring it, sometimes it can get in our way. But we feel and we think like, oh my gosh, I won't get what I want. And if I let go of the reins at all, horrible things will happen. Like, no, you don't understand. If I wasn't like this, my entire practice would fall apart. My entire career would fall apart. My home life would fall apart. Like everything would fall apart. I'm not asking you to not believe that or not think that. I'm asking you or inviting you to just be open to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, that's not true. Just open to the possibility. Open to just examining whether that's true or not. Also, just asking where in your life you're still doing it your way. And where maybe has that stopped working or isn't working as well as maybe it did at one point? And is there any collateral damage? And that's going to take some being honest with yourself. Is there any collateral damage? I'm not suggesting you even change it right now. Just recognize maybe there's some collateral damage. So if this is resonating with you at all and you are interested in doing some of this work, I have a monthly workshop the second Saturday of every month, and it's coming up fast. Link below to sign up. Take care, friends.